Dear students, now listen to me. Here there is a mass. Imagine this is the Earth, whose mass is big M. You know, Earth can create around itself a gravitational field. In that field, if any mass particle is moving from one point to other point, if potential energy is decreasing, kinetic energy will increase. If potential energy increases, kinetic energy decreases. But total will remain constant. That is called law of conservation of mechanical energy. So that is why this total mechanical energy, if it is remaining constant, that field is called conservative field. That means gravitational field is conservative field. Similarly, in electric field, say here big Q charge is there. It is establishing electric field. This is studied in static electric field. In that small Q charge, a charge particle is moving from A to B. Then its electrical potential energy changes and kinetic energy also changes. But total will remain constant. Means what? If potential energy increases, kinetic energy decreases. Or if potential energy decreases, kinetic energy increases. But total will remain constant. Means what? Total mechanical energy will remain constant. And the electric field is formed here in which medium? Vacuum by this source charge, or in dielectric medium, not in conducting medium. We already studied in conducting medium, electric field will not be present. And here also, as total mechanical energy is remaining constant, static electric field is also called conservative field. But if you come to current electricity, where this is a conductor whose ends are A and B, we have connected a battery whose potential difference is V. So A end is at high potential, B end is at low potential, and from high potential to low potential, through the material electric field is formed. But this electric field is not conservative, it is non-conservative electric field. How can I tell? Because when imagine Q charge at point A, where potential is V. So because of presence of Q charge, we imagine at potential at point A, where potential is V, its potential energy should be VQ. But same Q charge, when it goes to B, where potential is 0, so potential energy will become Q into 0. Means what? 0. Means what? Potential energy is decreasing from VQ value to 0 when the charge Q is moving from A to B. So potential energy change is there. But when charge is moving, electrons in the conductor are drifting. They are making random motion and they are drifting. But the drift velocity is constant. Since velocity is constant, kinetic energy of the charge is constant. When kinetic energy is constant but potential energy is changing, means the total of potential energy plus kinetic energy will not remain constant. That is why electric field through the conductor, which we see in the current electricity, is not conservative field. It is non-conservative field. So in case of non-conservative field, what we should use? Total energy conservation we should use. Total energy conservation is what? Loss in potential energy must be equal to heat produced. Loss in potential energy, here potential energy is changing from VQ to 0. Means what? Loss in potential energy VQ minus 0. That is VQ. Must be equal to heat energy produced in the resistor. In the resistor, heat is produced when charge is drifting. Because when charge is drifting, actually electrons are making random motion, where they are colliding with the atoms. So during collision, they impart energy to the atoms, means what? To the material, which they have gained from electric field. In that way, energy is dissipated in the form of heat. So the change in potential energy, decrease in potential energy, which is VQ, is connoted as heat energy. That's why heat energy produced on the resistor, H is equal to VQ. But Q we can replace with IT, because charge expression is current into time taken. That is why heat energy produced formula become VIT. And if you use Ohm's law, this can be converted into I square RT or V square by RT. So there are 1, 2, 3 formulae and 4 formulae for finding heat energy produced in the resistor. Now, power means what? Energy produced in unit time. That can be written as means what? We have to divide the heat energy produced, we should divide with time, then we will get power. So power produced in the resistor is VI T by T, that is VI. Similarly, it can be written as I square R. Similarly, it can be written as V square by R. So this is expression for power produced in the resistor. Dear students, today we are reading about Kirchhoff laws. Now first Kirchhoff law. What is it? It is also called junction rule or current law. So first law of Kirchhoff is also called junction rule and current law. What it tells? Algebraic sum of all the currents involved at any junction is always zero. Means what? I1. Okay, algebraic sum of all the currents. Algebraic sum why? Because depending on direction of current, some currents we should call positive, some currents we should call negative. Then total of such currents involved at any junction must be zero. Why? Because it is based on the principle charge cannot be created, neither can be destroyed. Now whatever the amount of charge reaching to point A must be living in case of charge continuously flowing. So when circuit is closed through the wires, charge will be continuously flowing. And if junction A comes, there also per second how much charge is reaching, per second that much charge should leave away. Means what? I1 means what? It is a current. Current means what? I1 means it is the charge, amount of charge reaching per second. So I1 is current through this path, means I1 charge is reaching to point A per second. And through this path, I2 charge is reaching to point A per second. Through this path, I3 charge is reaching to point A per second. So per second total charge reaching is how much? I1 plus I2 plus I3. And per second total charge leaving is how much? I4 plus I5. Means what? The amount of total charge reaching and the amount of total charge leaving must be equal. Why they must be equal? If reaching charge is more than leaving charge, that means here charge is undergoing some stagnation or charge is there growing. Means what? Creation of charge is taking place. If amount of charge reaching is less than leaving charge, that means what? Charge is being created there. So which should not happen. That is why the total charge reaching the junction A must be equal to total charge leaving the junction A. That is why I1 plus I2 plus I3 must be equal to I4 plus I5. Or if you bring these two this side, then I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4 minus I5 is equal to 0. Means what? Algebraic sum of all kinds of currents must be equal to 0. So this law is based on the continuity in the steady flow, continuity of flow of charge in the steady flow of current, and conservation of charge, because charge should not be accumulated anywhere, neither should be destroyed anywhere. This is the first law. Now second law. In second law, this is also called loop rule or voltage law. Loop rule or voltage law. In this to study, we have to take any one loop. That is why I have drawn here one electric circuit A, B, C, D, L, M. And here internal resistor is there, EMF is there of the cell, and here one resistor R1 connected resistor, R2 also connected resistor, R3 also one connected resistor. Simply one electrical circuit I imagined. In that current direction also I mentioned from positive current is coming I, and through this path current passing is I1. Through this path the current passing is I2. Now if you apply junction rule at point D, the reaching current is I, leaving currents are I1 plus I2. So I must be equal to I1 plus I2. That is the junction rule. Okay. Now we are going to study voltage rule, voltage law, that is loop rule. For that I have to take one loop. For example, I have taken one loop. What is that? A, B, C, D, A. Means what? A, B, C, D, A. One loop I have taken. In that loop, algebraic sum of all kinds of potential differences and EMFs must be zero. For example, when we are going from A to B, first we are facing internal resistance whose value is small r and current is I. As we are going opposite to current direction, A to B, opposite to current direction, we have to take the potential difference positive. Positive means how much potential difference? I into R. By Ohm's law, potential difference is given by current into resistance. Then why you have to take positive? Because current always comes from high potential to low potential. But we are going from A to B, means what? Low potential to high potential. When we are going from low potential to high potential, that means what? Potential is increasing. When potential is increasing, it is called positive change in the potential. That is plus IR. Now when next we are going from cell positive to cell negative, means what? Potential will decrease. So when potential is decreasing, that we have to consider the decrease, we have to consider minus. So minus EMF. Because EMF is a potential difference only. So minus EMF. Next, B to C, no element is there, neither resistor nor cell. Now C onwards we are coming this path. First we are facing R2 and current in this branch is I1. So we are going opposite to current direction. That is why again the change is positive, because current comes from high potential to low potential, but we are going from low potential to high potential. Low potential to high potential, that potential is increasing. So potential is increasing is what? That potential difference should be treated positive. And potential difference through resistor, how you will get? By using Ohm's law, current into resistance. Current is I1, resistance is R2. So plus I1 R2. Similarly, if you come to R1 resistor, we are coming from like this, right to left, but current is going from D to C. Means what? Opposite. Current comes from high potential to low potential, but we are going from low potential to high potential. Means what? Potential is increasing. That's why again potential difference should be taken as positive. Means what? I1 into R2. And now we reach it to point D. And D to A, nothing is there. Means what? We started from A, again we reach it to point D. Then that means what? Meanwhile, whatever the potential differences, their algebraic sum must be equal to 0. This is the second law, which is also called voltage law. So when you are applying this law, what is the point here? We are starting from A point, again we are coming to A point, where potential is same. So meanwhile, whatever the changes in the potential are taking place across the different elements, their total must be equal to 0. Because starting point ours and reaching final point is same, where potential is same. So meanwhile, whatever the changes are taking place in the potential, they should vanish away. That is why algebraic sum of the potential differences across every elements in any closed loop must be always 0. And this law is based on law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of energy. How we can tell? Because here in this circuit, whenever some charge is passing through cell, it is gaining chemical energy. Chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Means it is charge is gaining energy. Whenever it is charge is passing through resistors, then charge is losing the energy, heat energy in the resistor. So the charge, how much energy it is gaining when it is passing through cell, सेल में से जाते समय उसे कितना एनर्जी मिल रहा है, केमिकल एनर्जी विल बी obtained, कितना एनर्जी मिल रहा है, रेसिस्टरों के द्वारा जाते समय उतना एनर्जी खोना पड़ेगा. मीन्स व्हाट? एनर्जी गेन्ड बाय द सेल मस्ट बी इक्वल टू एनर्जी लॉस्ट इन द रेसिस्टर्स. दैट इज व्हाई एनर्जी गेन्ड इन द सेल, हाउ मच? Potential difference, EMF is E, current is a I, time is a T, EIT. So by Joule's law, EIT. VIT formula is there, in the place of V, E is coming, EIT. This is energy gained by the charge Q when it is passing through cell. So potential difference V into Q, Q becomes IT. Because we studied already, whenever Q charge is passing through potential difference V, it gains energy V into Q. And in the place of V, we are getting here EMF. In the place of Q, we are getting IT. So this is the expression for energy gained by the charge when it is passing through cell. And when it is passing through resistors, it is losing energy in the form of heat. Now how to calculate that? Heat lost is given by I square into R into time. So current is I square, I. Current is I through resistor R. So current I, resistance R. So heat lost is I square R, T, I square RT in this resistor. Similarly, in this resistor heat lost is, here current is I1, resistance is R1. So I1 square R1T. And in this resistor heat lost is I1 square R2T. So this right hand RHS tells the heat lost in the resistors by the charge. And this is a heat gained by the charge when it is passing through cell. But heat gained from the cell must be equal to heat lost in the resistors by the charge. That is why both equated. From that the common terms we got cancelled. Then we got E is equal to IR plus I1 R1 plus I2 I1 R2. Now if we take E that side, then we'll get 0 is equal to that. We'll get back this. Means what? Which we are using as junction rule. That means what? From conservation of energy only we got this voltage law. So in that way there are two laws of Kirchhoff.